I'm Colette. It's our time of year, and I am here today from Witchways, and today I want to share with you a few simple and intermediate spells that you can do at this time of year. I hope you enjoy. And my first spell is one that could be either simple or a little more intermediate, depending on whether or not you choose to invoke Hecate. And this spell will definitely work without invoking Hecate if you're new to witchcraft or not comfortable working with deity yet. But this spell's a lot stronger if you do invoke her. Hecate isn't my personal main deity, but I work with her often, and she's frequently called on at Samhain. Originally, she was much more than Queen of Witches, the Dead in the Crossroads. I did a full video on her, and I'll link that and put that on the end screen and in the description. First, find a large antique key, ideally iron for protection. If you work closely with the Fae though, you might want to use a stick of protective wood instead, like rowan, oak, or elder, since the Fae beings dislike iron, though I've seen exceptions for that. Clear your stick or key by passing it through salt water 3 times, saying something like, cleanse and bless, cleanse and bless, cleanse and bless. That's kind of my standard. You say what you want. Then the next thing I would do is brew a strong tea of rosemary or blue vervain and pass the key or stick through the steam or pour the tea over it 3 times. Say something like, I welcome my beloved dead and known spirits who have my best interest at heart. May all others be turned about and pass peacefully on their way. Again, put it in your own words depending on your needs, who you work with, and how adventurous you want to be. Then place that key near your doorway or by your altar. I think of altars as sort of an open portal to the spirit world, which is why you might choose to put it there. And then keep it up through at least the dark moon of November until the moon starts to wax again. Or maybe you want to keep it up all winter. If you want to call on Hecate, light a candle and make an offering that she likes. Honey, figs, garlic, fish, red wine, and several other things are all associated with her. And say something like, Hecate, Queen of the heavens, earth, and sea, I thank you for the wealth and blessings you bring to me. Tonight I call on you as the keeper of the crossroads and holder of the keys. Keep your torch bright and protect this home and all in it. Then repeat the offering. Thank her again at the dark moon in November. Ash was super important to my Northern and Western European ancestors as a magical ingredient, particularly if it was ash that was taken from a large festival or sacred holiday bonfire. So I've talked before about using ash for protection in various ways, and when you look back in folklore, there are so many ways that people used ashes to protect or carry as a charm, to bless them, and to bring them luck. But this particular way of using it is just a really simple practice to call the ancestors a little closer to you. If you do a group Samhain bonfire, which not very many of us do, but if you're one of those lucky ones, take some ashes home from that bonfire for this spell. If not, what you could do is create your own ashes by burning mugwort in your cauldron and ask it to open the way for your well and whole ancestors who love you to come a little bit closer. You're not summoning them, just asking them to step a little closer to the veil so you can hang out with them. Then burn some rosemary in the same cauldron and ask it to protect and bar any ancestors who don't have your best interest at heart or any you don't want to work with. Mix the mugwort and the rosemary ash with just a little bit of water. It could be any kind of water you want. It could be moon water, but just plain water is fine. I like to make it into a thick paste so I can really see it where I put it down, and you can dot it all around your whole house or put a small circle of it around you or on a spell plate around your candle and then light the candle and start. make an offering to your beloved ancestors, who, by the way, don't have to be blood ancestors. I know I say that a lot, but just to remind people, it doesn't have to be blood ancestors. It can be cultural, adopted, or inspirational ancestors. And apples are really good at this time of year for offerings, but water or alcohol of any kind works as well. So once you've lit the candle and called them a little closer, say to them whatever you need to. Share your appreciation and love if you knew them in life, and that is applicable. Ask them for guidance or make a special offering of food they love. Ask them for a request or to help you in some way. And when you're done, just snuff the candle or let it burn out and thank them. Then wash away or smear the ash and take a shower afterwards. And you can repeat this over several nights if you want. That's when you can get a really big candle and just snuff it and relight it again night after night until you feel done. And this one is just a little bit more intermediate. Samhain is a time when many witches do divination, and I usually invoke deity for protection and the bigger viewpoint, but some people really prefer to just ask their well and whole ancestors for guidance. And you can begin by calling in your ancestors or deity in whatever way you normally do, or use the ash spell to invite the ancestors a little closer. Tell them you want to do a little scrying and ask them to show you what you need to learn or integrate through the dark months of winter. You can use smoke, embers, or candlelight on water, and the goal is to see images, record them, and interpret them later. If you're lucky, you might know exactly what they mean in the moment, but most of us have to sit with it a while to figure it out. So for smoke, you'll likely need to be outside because you have to burn things long enough to really sink in and see useful images. For ember gazing, you'll need a fireplace, obviously, or outside in a bonfire. For water scrying, fill a clear glass bowl and set it on a mirror with candles placed so that you can't see them directly, but in a way that the candles flicker on the water, making light and shadow images. And it can really take a few tries to get the positioning right, so test it before you do it. In the days leading up to Samhain, practice seeing faces or images in textures, clouds, or walls. It really helps train your vision, and I think that's one of the most important steps. Most of us as kids really easily see patterns in things, and it's actually a human survival skill. So a lot of us have let go of that and stopped seeing that. So if you want to help train your vision, start out ahead before you try this method by looking and trying to see patterns wherever you can. So before starting, spend a few hours in quiet, low light, letting go of your day, and you might want to shower or clear yourself and then clear your space. And when you're ready, light some incense that you like. Any will be perfect. You can use some that enhances divination, but really anything that helps you set the mood is fine. And then begin your magic as you normally would, or begin your divination practice as you normally would. For me, especially when I'm calling spirits in, that means casting a circle, grounding into the earth, and reaching up into the sky until that energy fills me up. Then I slow my breathing and become as still as I can. And then I ask, what do I need to integrate or learn through the dark part of the year? And then I offer something to whoever I've called. Keep a journal and your pen nearby. And then just write as you see things. Look into the smoke, fire, or water with a soft or half-closed eyes, and let shapes and images come without editing them or trying to make sense of it. For some people, it helps to stop looking and start writing down what comes through instead, just gazing into the candle, the smoke, or the fire, and then do a little automatic journaling, just letting that communication come through. For some people, the smoke, embers, and waters are just keys that open the intuition, that helps your mind move into more of an open, receptive state. So imagine yourself open above and below, Allow information to flow up like a well from below or down from the stars into your body, into your mind. And when you feel done, write a little bit about what you saw and how it felt. What does it remind you of? For some people, the meaning comes right away while they're still in that softened space post getting the images and as they contemplate them. But for others, an initial assessment is helpful, but it's better for them to figure it out the next day or later. And you won't know which kind of person you are without trying and noticing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. You've got to make some mistakes to learn and figure out what works. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. It also might take doing this kind of work several times before you get out of your head and your thinking brain enough to actually get info. Don't give up. Don't expect instant results. You can also try writing each image and what you got about it or what you feel about it on small slips of paper when you're assessing and trying to interpret it. Then try arranging those little slips of paper in different patterns and treat those like a divination card or a tarot reading and see what kind of story you can make from them. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share my content. And for more about witchcraft and Samhain, check the description for my newsletter, blog, and Patreon links. Consider supporting me on Patreon and joining my community there. I hope you have a wonderful Samhain. Until next time, stay safe and be well.